This episode of GuildCast is brought to you by Audible. For a free 30-day trial and to receive a free audiobook, just head on over to audible.com/GameBreaker. Do it, 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 do it.
GameBreaker TV.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to GuildCast, episode 87 for September 18th, 2013. You're watching GameBreaker. I'm Gary again, and coming up on today's show, we got a new patch, we got revamped bosses, and we got world firsts to talk about. We've got a high-level preview of next month's release, and all the karma is gone. Send help, SOS, all that and more. But first, joining us, Mr. Bob Otter himself, Mr. Richard Procopio. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, but there's something in the water.
Oh.
You know what? I'm tired of you getting stuff.
All right. Oh, shut up, fly out the Seattle boy.
Oh, I mean, what you getting stuff? Like, what is a
Come
man?
on, he
have to
got a
do?
piece of
What
paper
does a
from the
man-
laser
I got a
printer.
poster. You got a flight. Give me a break.
Hey. Over time, that's gonna add up to a flight.
Well, they look like they know the three of us are on the show, so they figure they just got to get to one of us, and it'll make it.
And it better aim at Richie, right?
He's on top of it because I don't check my mail all that often. I open up like mail like a month too late, and it's like, whoa, missed that patch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ah, Matt Visual, how are you, sir?
I'm doing very good, very good.
You feel the need to answer like this? Okay, hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. So sometimes my voice just gets low,
Just goes
and then
totally goes
sometimes
into
it
that
gets
mode.
high. Coltrane mode.
Cool tree. All right, so
Yes.
Tequatl Rising has risen, and apparently he's pretty damn hard. Not hard enough for Richie and the Dragon Slayer and the Blackgate, and congrats to Blackgate, man. The little Blackgate took him down. First world first kill yesterday, I believe, right?
Yeah, last night. Pretty darn exciting. I've never been a world first anything. And I come from like six and a half years of raiding World of Warcraft, nowhere near the top like 100 ever. And all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap.
I just got a
part of
world
something.
first. Do you have the bug now? Do you have the world first bug, or you don't want to like go for the next one and some other stuff?
No, because I was sweating profusely and my hands were cramped.
Can't handle the pressure, huh?
It was a very mixed feeling.
I want to get into a little bit about like the fight and all that stuff, but
Sure.
congratulations to Blackgate and the world first. So ArenaNet confirmed it on Facebook. This was kind of funny. Fan Kenny Lim made this comment, which earned him 234 likes. It's probably more by now. He said, "Congrats for killing a hard boss. Here is 340 karma."
Lovely.
Yeah.
Pretty hilarious comment, but I mean, let's get into the fight. Like I said, is that accurate? Is that number pretty? Is that about what you get?
The karma?
310
Oh,
is gold.
Yeah, but
Wow.
I mean, inside the little dragon chest, you get some more karma. But yeah, and that's funny because I have a video with the boss kill on my channel, and at the end when you look at the loot, you're like, oh wow, this is a big fight and a world first. Let's see what the loot is. And my personal rewards were a rare and a couple greens and blues and some karma and some ascended materials and stuff like that. And so people are like, what do you mean that's all you got and stuff like that? So. But one of my guildmates got an exotic that he sold for 25 gold, so it really depends on what
nice.
your luck is. So, yeah.
So what else can you get? So you can get the possible. It's possible to get some exclusive ascended weapons, skins,
Right.
but they're not
Different colors.
guaranteed, right?
No.
Very low.
Never
chance.
guaranteed. Never
Yeah,
guaranteed. But you get a mini Tequatl. You get a rare
Yeah.
quality.
Nobody seems to care
Underwater
about mini
breathers.
Tequatl. Oh, rare
Yeah.
underwater breathers, because everyone's excited about those.
Everyone.
How's the
Everyone.
underwater combat treating everybody? Is it gonna be a whole new experience with a rare underwater breather?
Of course.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Jason Winter is going to be clamoring to get that so he can go with his underwater legendary.
Yes.
Whoa.
Does anybody care?
Underwater legendary. Was that a joke? Is he
No,
really?
he really has one. He brings it on guild missions. He's like, yes, we got the Quaggan race. I could go underwater. Everyone look.
Wow.
Hilarious.
Right.
What do you think though? Do you think the drops and the loot's a little like underwhelming compared to what goes? I'm going to get into this in a minute. What actually you guys went through to actually pull this guy down, and
Yeah.
man, it seems like it's a little underwhelming.
Well, here's the thing. There's no kind of, when you do a raid or a huge boss like this in another game, they have a raid reset or a long spawn timer, right? So that you can't just hit them like over and over and over again and get the loot. But on the flip side, they give you like a guaranteed couple of items that drop that are really really good. But having a world boss like this that's just open with no gate like that, they can't give you an ascended weapon or an ascended item or something like that every single time, because then everyone would just have it and it wouldn't be fun. So it's a hard mix. Sometimes you're going to get lucky and hit the jackpot, and sometimes you're gonna get a rare and a couple blues. It's a tough cookie.
All right, so I almost would call this like a marathon to some extent. So you attempting your 6 attempts.
Yes.
That one single day, and that's with an hour and a half spawn wait right between attempts, right?
Yes.
That's pretty rough, man.
And you can't log, like, once you have your spot on the server, you can't log out. I actually DC'd at one point, which gave me a heart attack. Here I am on all day, like, preserving my spot and playing and doing these attempts, and then I got disconnected and had to, spam the button over and over again. Join in server, join on server, join on server. I had to do that for like 20 minutes to get back in. But yeah, an hour and a half between each attempt. So yeah, I was on all day. I was on right when the patch launched. I did a couple attempts immediately, and then we didn't kill him until late last night. So
you're talking, you almost 9 hours. So you got him to what, 98%? Then it went to 95%. And then what did you guys do? Then you finally got a bunch of people up on TeamSpeak so you could actually converse with everybody and make sure that you could kind of get coordinated?
Yeah, after the first 2 attempts, we were just like, okay, this will just we're never going to get this today unless we really get serious about coordinating this. And so Blackgate is one of the top world versus world servers. So they have a TeamSpeak channel that's just open to the public with like, I don't know, I think it can hold hundreds of slots or whatever. So some of the people from the world versus world side said, hey, everyone start, they started putting it in general chat. Everyone start joining this, get on TeamSpeak. And, then we started really making progress. The very next attempt, we got down to 50% and then 30%. And then a 1% wipe, because that just had to be done.
1% wipe? That must have burned.
It was horrible.
Did that burn? Oof.
It burned. It burned bad.
That's when you can't give up, though. That's like that point where you're so burned. Yeah. You can't give up at that. You're like, we got it next time.
Yeah, but it was funny because the worst part about it wasn't that, oh no, we'll never get it. It's okay, we got this now. But it was like, oh, now we've got to wait another hour and a half and just sit here. It's like, oh, it was grueling. And you're kind of nervous, no one's announced that they had beat it yet, so we were nervous that somebody else was going to come in at that time and steal the kill. But fortunately, that didn't happen for us.
So what was your total time? About 9 hours? Then you basically did this?
Yeah, something around there. Yeah, it was lengthy.
Crazy.
I mean,
and you were paralyzed. You're paralyzed too because you couldn't do anything. It's not like I could just play the game and go to different zones or anything like that. You just literally had to sit there. I was afraid to even like go mining in the zone. I didn't want to do anything that would disconnect me. So I literally, just had my character sitting there. And so that's kind of one of the flaws with the whole thing is the fact that there's a limited space for people, and there were tons of people getting home from work and guild members of mine who wanted to kind of jump in and join in, and they're all stuck on overflow. We could not get them in. I had one guy try for over an hour trying to get in. Like, you can sit there passively and try to get on the server, right? You just wait your turn in the overflow. But you can also join someone's group that is in the real instance, the real Blackgate server, and you can right-click their portrait and click join on their instance, right? But it'll say it's full, and you can constantly spam that and hoping eventually you'll get in. And I had a guy doing that for over an hour, and he couldn't get in, so he missed the kill. So that's one of the big complaints about this, and especially now that some of the servers, because I think there's like 4 servers now that have beaten them. Those servers are becoming, more popular for people to guest on, right? They'll do it earlier in the afternoon and get a spot in there and just stay there and camp out. And then people that are really from that server are having trouble getting in. So it creates a little bit of a nightmare situation with people just stuck in overflow forever.
Matt, do you have something?
That was that was 10 minutes ago. No, I was saying that when you guys were talking about how hard it was, I was saying that it's hard right now because I think not everyone knows exactly what to do, and there's a lot of randoms just coming in that didn't even look at the patch notes, don't even know what's going on. They're like, "Oh, it's Tequatl spawning. Let's all go to the Tequatl," and they're just walking in there, and they're taking up space on the server, and they're not knowing what to do, right? And they're just dying and respawning, dying and spawning. Once everyone as a whole, not just people who are informed with Guild Wars, who kind of learns how to do the Tequatl fight, I think it will be a lot easier, and it'll go back to being normally just beating through Tequatl over and over again and getting the loot. Like, and right now, everyone, like on my server,
like most raids,
everyone was on TeamSpeak, like just like, oh, do this, all right, 4 and 5 on the turrets and doing this, oh, cleanse, and now keep attacking the dragon and stuff like that. And it was fun. I gotta say, it was fun, and losing. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, even though you don't get anything.
Not when it's 1%. It's bad when it's 1%, though. I'm sure.
You know what's funny about the losing thing? The first wipe we had when it was like 98%, people complained and after like, "Where is the chest?" Like, we failed the event. The boss flew away at 98%, and people were expecting a chest.
Where's our loot? Where's our gold? So with that, I want to talk the actual intricacies of the fight, but do you think that this is as close to Guild Wars 2 has ever gotten to a traditional raid?
Yeah, I think might be as close as they will get. I mean, we've heard before that they're not extending dungeons over 5 men. So this is probably what we're gonna get. We're gonna get world boss raiding, and from Tequatl. If a lot of people like Tequatl, which a lot of people seem to be liking the harder content, getting beat over and over and over again, and they're going to revamp the other dragons as well, and they already revamped all the other bosses as well. Some of the other bosses, some minor changes. So
here's what I'd say: closest to raiding that they have so far, absolutely. Like what I did last night was technically a raid. It was a very large raid with 130 people, and they weren't all part of my guild, and I didn't know pretty much anyone on there. But it was, in all intents and purposes, a raid. The problem is, this is not something you're going to be able to organize routinely, and it's not something you can schedule necessarily at a specific time because the boss might not even be up when you get your raid to do it. So it also doesn't scratch that itch of having like a tight knit group of friends or a guild being able to kind of hang out together and work on something just together. You have to kind of include all of these, extra parameters and extra, the people that might be in the server with it. So it doesn't necessarily scratch the rating itch for me long term, but certainly last night was a lot of fun and, definitely had elements that were typical of raid. I still am holding out hope for something more than guild missions that guilds can do together on a regular scheduled basis.
Maybe this is just a glimpse of things to come. So Richie has a video up on his YouTube channel, Bog Otter. Thankfully, it's not 9 hours long. Thanks for editing that. That would have been. But tell me about the fight then. Tell me about, is there anything we didn't see from the PAX preview?
You saw a lot of the fight in the PAX preview, but in general, it's here's part of the hard part of the fight, right? A lot of it relies on 6 people. There are 6 turrets that need to be manned by somebody that knows what they're doing because it's essential to the fight. They have to cleanse poison clouds. They have to remove stacks of an armor buff that's on Tequatl using the turrets. If it stacks too high, then a bone wall comes up and makes it so he's invulnerable to damage for a period of time. And since this is a very tightly tuned enrage timer, basically, you got to be on the ball with that. And then you can also do damage with it. You can also buff people with it and protect people with it. So overall, 6 really you can have a raid of 130 people, but those 6 people really need to know what they're doing. And if some random person just grabs the turret and, look, what's this do? Or I want my achievement, it could really spell disaster. Yeah, but basically, you have that. You have these tidal waves that he sends at you that you can jump or dodge through. So that's different. He can send you down into a watery grave, undertow they call it, and it actually throws you really deep underwater, and it's all dark, and you got to swim your way out of it. And then every 25% of life that you take away, you have a dynamic event where you have to protect these batteries that are charging up the mega laser. And if you successfully do that, the mega laser will fire, blast him out of the sky, and then you have a burn phase where he's stunned that you can do a lot of damage. So overall, that's kind of how it works. It's a burn phase and a survival phase, burn phase, survival phase, and it's a pretty interesting fight overall, and much different than it was before.
Matt, where are you guys with this?
You mean on my server?
Yeah.
How low we got it? We got it down to like 50% once, I guess.
50%. What do you think's making it so hard? Is it really the coordinating so many people?
I don't think it's that. Well, because like most of the time we have everyone, like all the turrets on TeamSpeak, so we can kind of coordinate. Like, oh, everyone spam cleanse, everyone spam 4 and 5, and and then we know to spam 2, like Richie was saying, to make sure he doesn't do the bone wall. It's that beginning push, I think. Getting enough damage in for that beginning push to get him down 25%, so we can do the battery, and then we can just burn him, right? When he gets down and he stumbles down, and we can just do a lot of damage, and all the melee guys go up and just kind of just rip him a new one for that close bit, and kind of gets him down to like 60%ish, and then we just go for that 10%, and then it starts over again. As long as we do a lot of good damage when he gets down, I think that would be like that's the key, basically, and basically range damage as well. Range damage is probably the best way because they can stack on the commander without getting hit by the tidal waves over and over and over and over again. So.
Yeah, it's a very deceptive fight. Exactly what Matt is saying. The beginning of the fight takes forever, and it looks like, oh my God, we just spent 5 minutes of this fight. He's not even down 25% of his life. There's no way we're going to do this with time runs out. But as soon as you get past that first part and you start getting those burn phases, they come almost back to back to back, and you can take them down. There's a lot of little things you can do. I actually put up a second video this afternoon on my channel with the strategy we kind of used last night, but things like elementalists throwing down ice bows so everyone can pick up ice bows and use the number 4 skill. It does a lot of damage to them. Stacking up all together so that the warrior elite banners can revive people in mass if you get hit by the tidal waves. There's a bunch of little things, and somebody said it in chat, and this is very key. If you die, like not downstate, but if you die, you need to immediately run back. You cannot sit there dead on the ground and expect someone to res you. It will not happen, and you're just wasting time.
So many people do.
So many people just sit there, and they say it in /say.
What is just because there's so much chaos that people can't even practically see people down?
No, you can see people down, but if they, how you go in the downstate and they're sitting there going like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If people revive them, it's almost instant. You can get them up back into the fight. If they're dead, you can't take 3 or 4 people, the 20 or 25 seconds or whatever it takes to get them up because it's not
their argument is like, oh, if everyone reses, then it'll be fast, it'll be quick, it'll be instant. No. Go back to the dang waypoint and walk. It's just it's annoying. But what Richie was saying, I think working together, creating like I guess like picking all the skills that really help the team, like the war banner as a warrior and all those team combos, you can really and people also stack a lot of buffs and healing on each other as well, because everyone stacks on the commander, right? And that's where we as the turrets, we toss all the buffs and whatnot. If people lay down like AoE heals as well to heal everyone, and there's a lot of combinations you can do with Guild Wars 2. And that's what mostly I find people doing, really, and staying up, because sometimes you get a wipe and you just see everyone dead and you're like, oh no. And that's like valuable, like I don't know, like 5 minutes that you don't have extreme damage on him. So that sucks.
The other 2 things I'll just mention real quick, just tips. Potions of undead slaying. You can get a 10% reduction to damage from undead and do 10% more damage. And the other thing, oh no, totally forgot it. Derp. So one thing
That one thing. Would you guys say that? So, would you guys say now, looking at this, that they've ArenaNet's really gotten away from sort of the DPS like Zerg fest that we've kind of been known to?
You cannot just stand here in a big pile and spam your key while like eating a Pop-Tart in the other hand. That will never work.
Good.
So
well,
Spam one.
All right, so with
attack.
I mean, I'm going to assume. I mean, Matt, you're saying it wasn't that bad dying. I mean, what would you say as far as like fun versus frustrating? As far as like the whole encounter, is it much more fun than frustrating?
It's on the scale. It's more fun than frustrating, definitely. If that's a scale. I don't know if it's like fun as a whole. I guess it's fun, but I guess after a while it might become like, okay, we're just gonna go here, we're gonna kill the boss, and take the loot. But yeah, it is definitely fun. But I don't think it's frustrating at all, really. It might be frustrating for some that just they don't know what's happening. That's where it could be frustrating, and people just don't know where to find this information, and people are not saying in map chat or something like that. But most of the time, people are just kind of explaining things in map chat. If someone asks, I'm pretty sure some people are butt faces, but like most of the time, you'll get an explanation of what's going on, and that's the only time that it should be frustrating. Really, it's not frustrating at all.
I guess what I'm wondering also as well is like, if the loots aren't like, obviously there's some chances for some pretty good stuff, but if the loots aren't like amazing, the rewards aren't crazy good, what's going to make people really want to do Tequatl if it's so much harder than going somewhere else?
Yeah,
or is
it's all about the loot. It's all about the loot, and I guess that's why it's on an hour and 30-minute spawn timer. Because if it was like, like, oh, this epic boss, you're like, maybe, to get more people, because right now, like, if it comes every hour and 30 minutes, how many people are going to be there every hour and 30 minutes, right? So, some people were like, okay, maybe the spawn timer should be, every week or so. But that means the loot has to be better, because the loot that we're getting now, it's not worth, a week to wait. And everyone will be there, but, what if you get into an overflow and stuff like that? But what I was saying is, it's for every hour and 30 minutes. So if you keep doing it every hour and 30 minutes, then the odds of you getting some good loot, ascended weapon or something, might be a little bit better. But yeah, it's all based on that counter, that time, the response time.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a fear that once, because right now there's two reasons to do it, right? You have a small chance to get some of that good loot, right? And there's also the new achievements, so you can get your Sunbringer title. Mm-hmm. And now it's fresh, it's new. People want to do it. People want to get their achievements, their title, and a chance at the loot. But what's going to happen a month or so down the line? Is this just going to be something that's not done anymore because it takes too much coordination? I don't know. And even if it is something that's done all the time, there's still going to be that issue that I mentioned earlier about, good luck getting on the main server when he spawns because you're going to get stuck in overflow. And overflow has a very slim chance. I did another attempt today on an overflow. It's like 98% or something like that. After 15 minutes of fighting the thing, it's like, no, it's never going to happen. Yeah, but I did remember the other thing I was going to mention in terms of a tip, real quick. You can't crit Tequatl, just like a lot of the world bosses. So precision, full Zerker's gear is not that great. Also, any consumables that give you, crit precision and stuff like that, it's just not that great. So stack power and survivability skills or condition damage, and then you win.
So what do you think is going to happen in the future? Do you think ArenaNet are going to nerf them, or do you think they're going to keep the difficulty kind of level where it is and just let people kind of start figuring it out and sort of putting it on farm, so to speak?
All right. I heard this said to me before many times. Richie, you played Guild Wars 1 a lot, right? So the first time that Underworld came out in Guild Wars 1, wasn't it extremely hard and no one can do it, right?
Sure.
I'm giving this as an example.
Yeah.
Now, people know exactly what to do, right? They know exactly what to do, where to go, where to get everything, and it's a lot easier now. It's not, easy, but it's a lot easier now because you know exactly what to do. It's the same thing with Super Adventure Box. Yep. I've seen people speed run Tribulation Mode, okay, and like no mistakes, no deaths, no nothing. It's because they know what to do. I think it's the same case for this, really. Like at first, when I looked at it, I was like, all I'm getting is 90%. What? How is this even possible? What is this? And then, really, like, you just gotta have to learn to really organize your team and make sure they're stacking on everything, like potions and like Richie was saying, and just making sure you damage that first bit, and then as soon as he goes down again, you damage him again. Like it's just a plan, basically. You just have to plan out how to beat them. Once people know how to do it, you can beat them.
Yeah, I don't think they should nerf it anytime soon for exactly what Matt's saying. People have to get used to the fight. People were calling for nerfs yesterday, and there's just no way. There's no way. You need time to kind of learn the fight, and it will get easier. And hopefully, it gets to the point where servers can start taking them down without having to have 130 people on voice chat, because that would be really cool. People just know the fight, know what they're doing. Yeah, but in terms of the only thing I would say is I would like to see. And this goes back to my rating days or whatever. I'd like to see on a failed attempt at Tequatl on your server, put the respawn at 10 or 15 minutes, right? Let people have a chance to get back there, reorganize, talk about your strategy, and then put it back. I mean, waiting an hour and a half on a failure is a little rough. You can't really just make a night of trying to down this with your server, because you're going to get 2 attempts in before people have to go to bed or something like that. I like that. And then,
Richie, there's always tomorrow.
Well, when you kill him, then have a longer, respawn timer. That's what I'd like to see.
Well, you guys aren't the only one that feel like they're saying not to nerf him. The top-rated thread on Guild Wars 2 Reddit this week is titled, Don't Nerf the Dragon. Opinions are really mixed on this, but it seems like, a lot of people do want this sort of like hard content. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Tequatl isn't the only boss that's changed in this patch, right?
Yeah.
All world bosses seeing a change?
Yeah, I mean, it's not to the extent of this. Most of them have not have changed mechanics at all. Most of them got like a health boost and an enrage timer, and that's about it. It's not suddenly going to make all those go, wow, look how fresh and new all these bosses are. No, not really. Just harder and more time intensive.
Have you guys checked out any of Have you checked out any of the other ones so far?
Yeah. A lot of people were saying that the Inquest Golem mark. Like, it does more damage on certain skills that he places on the ground, the electric fields and stuff like that. So, like, right now, basically, all these world bosses, you just go there and you just burn through them because there's so many people and they're just zerging it, right? But now they have more health and their skills do more damage, and some of the skills were kind of fixed. A lot of these world bosses, the skills were like, you knew exactly where they're going to be placed, so there's safe spots, and the skills don't do enough damage anyway above your heals and stuff like that. But now that's fixed. So now you actually have to move around a bit and be careful of where you stand and stuff like that. So it has a little Tequatlness to it. Also, Jungle Worm. I heard a lot of people were enjoying the Jungle Worm as well. Even like I forgot the minions. The regen on the Jungle Worm is actually more now than it was before, and people didn't really notice that the Jungle Worm had a regen.
Yeah.
Because we would just zerg him down anyway. Right. So now people have to be aware of all those minions that he eats to, get his regen higher.
What do you guys think of the fail mechanic now? Because a lot of most or a lot of them now fail after a certain amount of time, like Tequatl, right? Which doesn't sound like the most fun mechanic in the game.
No, I don't like
Richie seems so sad when you No, it's not.
No, because I don't know. It's got to be hard to design, especially an open world boss, a way to do this, because you don't have like the full wiping mechanic, because you can go to a waypoint and run back on a lot of these things. So it's hard. On the one hand, it might be one of their only tools for making a way to fail. Now, Temple of Grenth is one of the exceptions, right? People fully wipe on that all the time, and there is no kind of enrage timer with that. And I think that's that's a great example of a challenging fight that takes some element of coordination, but doesn't have one of these enrage timers. I wish we saw more of those instead of it just being, all right, across the board, it's 15 minutes, except for Jormak. You get 30. I don't know. I don't love it, but I don't have a good answer to it either.
A few of the fights, more than a few of them actually have, they've seen some difficulty changes, increases, and changes like that. Are people struggling with any of these other bosses like they are with Tequatl?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Or is everybody just focused on Tequatl?
I haven't got a chance to try everything.
I haven't tried anything else.
Yeah, most people are probably just completely focused right now and just doing that. How about anything special from any of the rewards from any of the other bosses?
They got updated a little bit. They get a little. Some of them get 2 champion bags, but only some of them, not all of them. So the loot is kind of more or less the same, except for those 2. Yeah, it's 2 champion bags. Like you can farm those, unless they nerf that. I haven't champion farmed in a while, but like you get that in 2 seconds. You don't.
Yeah.
That's 2 is not gonna. It's not enough. It's not enough for that. But I mean, it all depends on the time. And
Buff
now
the bags.
now that you have 15 minutes to defeat them, 15 minutes of your time for 2 bags, and a rare, a couple rares. I don't know if that's worth it to me. Really,
You can get the ascended materials if you're looking to craft your ascended.
True.
Weapon. So that's a good reason.
All right, I want to talk about ArenaNet. They gave us a high-level kind of like preview of the upcoming October 15th release. But first, I want to tell you guys about Shutterstock. If you guys have not checked out Shutterstock, I want you to go over and set up a free account and check out Shutterstock today. If you guys need anything like stock photography, vectors and artwork, icons, if you got a YouTube channel, guild website, or a personal website, you got to check out Shutterstock. Seriously, it's the only way you're going to make your website look just awesome. And I want to save you guys 25% off on your account. Just all you got to do is use the promo code GameBreaker9. Use that as your promo code, save 25% off. I was searching some stuff here. We're getting ready to working on a new website. Not really sure how it's going to look yet, but I was searching some sort of fantasy-esque artwork, and I came across some stuff that looks just awesome. If you guys doing like a guild site or something, you want to use like a background image, just some really great artwork on here. And all of it comes with a license to use it, so you're not stealing anything, which you definitely don't want to do, of course, right? But like I said, if you guys have a YouTube channel, you got to make the banner look all awesome and stuff. I'm telling you, check out Shutterstock. You can go make a free account. You don't even have to start paying today. You can start looking through stuff, searching, saving stuff to light boxes, all that good stuff. And then when you're ready, just sign up, and they have a couple different packages. There's like image packs. You could download a certain number of images. There's monthly subscriptions, things like that. We have a monthly here because we use it almost every day. But check it out. I want to save you guys 25% off on your account. And like I said, just go to shutterstock.com, make a new account, and all you got to do is use the offer code or promo code GameBreaker with the number 9 in there. Immediately save 25% off on your account. All right, so next up, ArenaNet gave us kind of like a high-level preview of the changes that are going to be coming up in the October 15th release. Now, they made it clear that nothing will change. No, I mean everything will change. No, who knows? Maybe everything, maybe nothing. No, everything is subject to change.
But they were very clear.
They were very clear. No, I'm joking. Nothing is set in stone here. Everything. So be prepared for any of this to change, add, subtract, delete, all that good stuff. But first, I'm happy to really see this. What do you guys think of this? The trait tooltips. Trait tooltips. Finally, right? We'll be able to see exactly what our traits do with cooldowns, length of effect, etc., etc. How happy does this make everybody? Long overdue.
Extremely.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing. I mean, there are some traits that are like, shouts now heal.
Yeah.
Extra armor when your health's above 90%. How much armor? How long? We don't know.
Who knows?
You can figure it out. You can, but who wants to do that?
This is definitely going to help with the builds. Now, we're going to know exactly what to do now. Like, okay, I need this, and this, and this, and this, and this trait to get this much in armor, or to make this work. Like, there's so many wrong traits in there. So many wrong traits, and you don't know what they do, and you don't know if you should use them or not. The only way to really figure out if you should use that trait or not is because if someone else says, oh, yeah, this it does this and this, because there's no way for you to find out for yourself. There's no way. Unless Wiki has some type of glorified page with that stuff on it, but I haven't found anything.
I mean, they can figure that stuff out, but it's labor intensive, right? All right, take off all your gear and look at your stat. Now slot that trait in and see how much it changed when you hit this thing.
Right.
It's a pain in the butt.
I'm sure people are doing it, but geez, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Next up, tab targeting is being improved. So it's now going to be prioritizing champions or legendaries, then players or clones, and then everything else.
That's awesome.
This is a problem.
Is there any downfalls with this though? Is there any negatives to this?
No, other than if you're trying to tab something that's right next to you.
Yeah.
And it just tabs somewhere else. That's a downfall right there. I mean, the problem is with I think the reason why they're putting this in is that with these Zergs, when you're out into the invasion, for instance, and you're trying to usually I just click my target, right? It's just easier that way, just to click target real quick, because the tab target, you just going through everything. So you try to click it and everyone's in the way. So you're clicking people, you're clicking players. You're like, oh my gosh. So this is what fixes that. But I mean,
with these invasions, right? Everybody wants the champions because if you do enough damage on the champion, you're going to get the champion loot bag. The problem with the current tab targeting is there's like 100 creatures and you're trying to tab target. I got to get to that champion before he dies. Oh, I missed that one. Mother. So, tab target, go right to the champion, get your loot. Everyone's happy and you don't have an aneurysm like I just had.
Right, and you don't end up attacking a random MOA or something. That always happens.
What do you guys think about this next one? Was this one needed? So they're making it easier to see which conditions you're suffering from.
I think that's good. Yeah,
just a little quality of life improvement. Just kind of point it out a little bit more, put it a little more in your face.
They're all about not watching the interface, right? But debuffs on your character is one of those things that you kind of have to look at the tiny little icons on the bottom of your screen to see what you're suffering from. So having some damage tick with a symbol on it and actually see, all right, yeah, that's the poison that I'm taking, right? All right, that's a poison, that's this. I need to use my condition removal.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to focus more on what your character's doing and less on the little interface bits. So I like that.
It would be great if we can actually change the interface a little bit. Guild Wars 1.
Just a little bit.
Just point it out there. ArenaNet, please.
How about this one too? I never heard of people complaining about this one, but they're giving players more options on fast cast ground targeting. Double tap, press the button, release the button to cast. Has this been a problem for you guys?
No.
I mean, they're giving you more options, so I'm not going to complain about that.
Oh, I'm not complaining. I'm just wondering if it seemed like a blaring problem or not. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Maybe in PvP where it's more time sensitive, it's might be good to have different play style, maybe able to launch your AoEs quicker, stuff like that. But I just leave it as the default while I'm running around. So
it all depends on play style, really.
Yeah. Anything to wrap up on the classes front, sort of like high level changes that either of your classes want to go over? Anything?
No.
I'm interested in. I played a shout heal warrior for a long time, for months, and I've recently switched to a more damaging build. But they're going to be making some changes to shout warriors specifically to make them a little bit more effective and change where some of the traits are. So I'm actually looking forward to possibly going back to more of a shout build after the changes. So, and also I don't play one, but engineer turrets seem to be having a big change where you put down the turrets and they will actually shoot the target you have currently, so you can do more focused damage rather than the turrets just having a mind of their own. So I think that's a pretty good change.
Where are these notes from? Because I remember hearing something about. I think these might have been leaked. I don't know.
After the leak happened, they actually posted on the official forums and said, "Hey, here are the things. Here are the things we're going to be, thinking about doing for October 15th patch. What do you guys think of it before it comes out?" So that's kind of how they responded to the leak.
One thing I'm very excited, like extremely excited about, right? I do a Boon Guardian, right? So when I'm doing World v World and I have my party members with me, when I do my shouts, they go to randomly to anybody, right? Now, when you do your shouts and all your buffs, anything that has any type of boon on it, it's going to primarily go to your party members first, if they're near you, and then go to other people. So I think that is an amazing change. Changes everything.
Everything. All right, next up, the looking for group system is finally here, sort of. Well, kind of, mostly, sort of. It's still what they're calling the beta version. But what's it looking like so far? Does everyone even have it yet?
I don't have it.
Oh.
Wow, you don't have it, Richie.
Don't got it. I got a piece of paper though.
You got paper.
Well, I don't got it either. So.
Oh,
there you go.
So
nobody's got
I don't know how. I just watched the live stream and that's it. I was like, oh, okay.
You know what the best part about it is? You can see the option in the social panel or whatever it is, and when you click it, it has a sound effect. It goes.
Yeah. I'm
like, no.
Come on. Really?
All right, so not everyone has it. Nobody's got it here. But is there a list of features?
Yeah.
How's it looking? How's it shaping up so far? How does it compare to like other LFG tools in other games? Anything special? Anything missing?
the main difference is it's not an auto group tool, right? You don't just queue up for something and it puts you into a group. That's the main difference if you're used to something like, what World of Warcraft has. It is more like you can post up there, hey, we are a group of 2 looking for 3 more. We're looking to do, Twilight Arbor, the FU path. That is a real path. And you can put in there what what you're looking for, whatever, and people can kind of join that group once you put it out there, or you can just scan the Craigslist of postings and jump into other people's groups that are open for it. But the cool thing is, if you have a group of 2 and you find someone with a group of 3, you can merge your group into theirs using the tool. And there's a whole bunch of different sections. You can join them in the living world or world versus world if you're on your server. You can also go cross server for dungeons and living story dungeons and all different types of stuff like that. So it's got all kinds of categories to it.
It looked like they spent time with it. It really did look like they spent time with it, and it's looking pretty good. I have no anything bad to really say about it. There's nothing really missing. I remember I was playing Neverwinter, and they're looking for group tool. It's just like a queue, and it just automatically just kind of just puts you into a group, right? Like you were saying with the auto party. Yeah, this one you can pick which party you want to go into. So it's just, and you can see when they're full and how many slots are in. So it has like a little tooltip for each party. So you can see who's in it, their name, and everything. So if you're just looking for a group, and also it prioritizes parties, your friends list, and your guild as well. So you can see, which party they're in and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with it. And people are asking questions about, can you switch it with language and stuff like that. So for all the people who speak English or all the people who speak Spanish, in like one party.
Interesting.
And they say they're working on stuff like that. They're trying to make sure that this is really polished. And, whatever the community says, not whatever they say, but, they can suggest what stuff they want to add into the looking for group tool, and they'll consider adding it in. Right now, they're just having that polished version.
Well, hopefully everybody starts rolling it out, getting more people using it soon. Let's talk about Bloodlust and WW. So, like we mentioned this last week. The Lakes and the Borderlands maps have been replaced with Runes of Power, and then controlling the more runes will earn all players from that world in WW's like 1 stack of the Bloodlust buff. How's that buff doing? That buff seems really powerful, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Yes.
This used to be the orb, right? Before everyone started hacking and fly hacking and taking the orb wherever they wanted in World versus World. So I was talking to a commander, and he was telling me that it adds more dynamic to the game because right now all you see was water before, and now there's just 3 capture points, right? If you capture 3. Then you get this buff, and it's
5
for the first stack. Oh, 5. Sorry, 5. You capture 3 out of the 5, and for 2 minutes you'll get 1 stack of the buff. As you kill people, you get more stacks. So there's 3 ranks. I'm assuming they call it ranks. The first rank is 50 to all stats, and then it adds up for each rank that you gain. So you can have 150 to all stats by the end of all 3 ranks. And that was the equivalent of an orb way back when they had orbs in World v. World.
Yeah, what's interesting about it, and I haven't gotten to try it myself yet, but what's interesting is smaller groups, right, can kind of capture these points, and the siege warfare can be done, with the larger Zergs or the well-coordinated groups or whatnot. So you can, and this buff is very powerful. Now here's something that's very interesting. Now my server competes week to week in the top tier, and usually it's based upon how many capture points do you have, right? How many points are you earning every 15 minutes based on how many towers and keeps and stuff like that do you hold? Well, the other day I heard people talking while I was actually waiting for Tequatl to spawn last night. Blackgate was, I think it was 80 points behind in terms of every 15 minutes we were scoring 80 less points than the top server, and yet we were able to pull ahead in points because of this buff. And what happens is we control the Bloodlust. Every time you spike someone, you do the finish him, you get another point for you get another point for your server, and it stacks. So if you have all 3 stacks of the Bloodlust, you'll get 3 points. So our server was able to stay ahead even though we had an 80-point deficit in the keeps and stuff like that. So I think there's a whole lot more play there. And I don't know. I think it's more interesting. I'm not a hardcore World versus World player, so I don't know if they're loving this or hating this, but it's definitely an interesting change right before the season starts.
Sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I'm watching chat room. So many chat rooms saying it's the best change to anti-zerging PvP since launch. So sounds like it's got quite a turning the tide sort of mechanic to it.
It adds more to the game than just taking keeps and camps over and over again, really. So you can have like one commander kind of dedicated to, capturing the points over and over again. So it adds like another place to fight,
Yeah, let's not understate the fact that they took a large portion of the Borderlands maps and they changed it, right? It used to be almost all lake and just a lot of underwater stuff. Now there's these capture points like Matt was talking about, and from what I'm hearing, the design is really great because a lot of these are all ruins, and there's a lot of verticality to it, and there's actually a cannon that you can build on top of each one of them, and it only takes one person's worth of supply, so you can actually sneak your way up to the cannon and control that, and you can try to hold the point. So there's a lot of play there, and so even besides the mechanic of the bloodlust, there's actually just new map to play, which World versus World players haven't gotten to see yet. So it's fun to actually give those players something fresh, something new to do.
People are saying poor Quag. It's like the lake's gone, the Quaggin are gone, the crater gone.
Yes.
So longer underwater. How do you guys think WVDubs is in what kind of place is it in right now heading into season 1? That's October, right?
Yeah. Starts
I
soon.
think the whole season 1 thing is a great idea, and all those World v World guys. I mean, there's people all they play is World v World. They live in World v World, and I bet they're excited to have this whole season 1 and earn bragging rights and stuff like that. So I think it's heading to a good place right now, especially with this capture point thing. Adding something new to all the Borderlands maps and stuff like that. Because a lot of people are mostly interested in, or at least the non-World v World guys are mostly interested in EB, Eternal Battlegrounds all the time, because that's the one that's mostly full all the time. Now the Borderlands has something special now, it has something new, and a lot more people are going there to kind of experience that place as well.
All right, next I want to talk about these karma nerfs going on, but first I want to tell you guys about Audible. I want to hook you guys up with a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. Seriously, guys, if you have not checked out Audible, now is your chance. I don't know what you're waiting for. All you got to do is go over to audible.com/GameBreaker, download the app, put it on your iPhone, your Android, your iPad, whatever you got, and start downloading audiobooks. If you guys have not checked it out, I highly recommend it. I love the Audible. I've been a subscriber for years, long before they were sponsors here on the show, and so happy to have them on as sponsors. And we've got a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook with your name on it. All you got to do is go to audible.com/GameBreaker. I was searching for some stuff. Gotta get the Guild Wars 2 books on it, Guild Wars books on here, but there are some Elder Scrolls books which sound quite interesting. Another little game. It is the wrong game, but still, I think they're just good fantasy books. I'm a fan of good fantasy. A fan of good fantasy.
I saw an Oblivion
That's
gate open
fantastic.
once, she said. When my father worked in Leaween, I saw things. It feels a little like that. But Martin's sacrifice, they say it can't happen again. And it doesn't look like a gate. It wasn't shaped like a thunderhead, Ifech realized. More like a fat cone, point down. Another wind was starting up, and on it something unbelievably foul. It doesn't matter what it is, he said. Not to us. And a few instants later, it didn't.
That is the Infernal City Elder Scrolls Series 1. You could be listening to this absolutely free. All you gotta do is go to audible.com/GameBreaker, sign up, make an account, and check it out free for 30 days. And check out one of these Elder Scrolls books. There's 2 of these in the series here. I'm definitely going to be checking these out next, and it's got some great reviews. So check it out today, the Infernal City Elder Scrolls Series 1. Audible.com/GameBreaker. It's a what?
It's like a fat cone pointed down.
All right, next up, the karma nerfs. Have they gone too far? Full edit and the 82% that like his thread on Reddit definitely think so. Before the major nerfs, you could turn your 4,500 daily karma jug into over 9,000 karma with a boost. Now, what you get the your daily karma and you get a flat 600 karma. Flat 600. That's an insane difference. That's like, I don't know. I'm gonna take his word board. What is it, 6.7%? That's roughly like 6.7% of the karma. That's a huge change.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's be honest. All right. Most of us who've been playing for a year, we have millions of karma, and that's an understatement. Some of us have like 3 million, 2 million. Like some of us didn't even go for legendaries, and you guys have like 5 million. I don't know. You guys are rich with karma right now. I guess they see that as a problem, and that's why they want to nerf it. And kind of the issue with the nerf was, like people were, or the reason why they nerfed it was people were like constantly saving and hoarding all those karma jugs, and it'll be in their bank, and you'll just wait to get all the buffs and then do it. And I actually like the nerf, but 600 opposed to over 9,000. That is a lot. That is a lot, and they didn't nerf anything. They didn't nerf the cost of the armors that you can get with karma. They didn't nerf.
No, so put this into perspective. Like what? So instead of temple gear before the patch, with dailies you would have had to run like 28 dailies, which is not bad and a decent amount of work. It's definitely doable. After the patch, 420 dailies you'd have to run. 28 to 420. Like. That's a huge change.
The game has only been out for a year.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. I'm almost there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. They should have nerfed everything else. So if they nerfed karma, they should have nerfed the other stuff.
Well,
it's 42,000 karma for a piece, by the way.
One piece.
One piece.
Yeah, I think they definitely want to get rid of some of the karma that people have stockpiled, right? But the way to do that is give us more things to spend karma on, right?
Yeah, really.
Because sure, I'm not adding to my total as fast as I want, but I still have over 2 million karma, and I see some people in chat have over 4 million karma. So yeah, the problem with this is, people that are coming into the game now, how are they earning enough karma to buy anything? I don't
That's what's going to hurt them, right? It's the new players just coming into the game. This sounds like it's going to be like a nightmare.
Yeah.
I've seen some threads already. They're just like, hey, I started a new alt. I'm leveling them up, and I had no karma when I started. I got up to level 40. I'm thinking, ooh, some cultural weapons or whatever. Oh no cultural weapons for you.
Yeah, the nerf doesn't. I mean, syncs sound like it may make a little bit more sense than just the nerf.
I have a friend that's just started playing, and if he wants to go for a legendary, oh gosh, oh my gosh, karma's actually a problem again. That's pretty weird, man. I mean, it's not undoable, but 600 compared to over 9,000, even without the boost, to 4,500. Come on, dude. Are
you guys expecting that, like, with all you got the ascended armor and the weapons and all that kind of stuff that's coming along the way? I mean, are we expecting karma to be a part of the cost? Aren't we? Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we have the whole picture here.
Is it in preparation of that to try and make this a little bit harder? So it's like people just don't have gajillions of karma to just make this super easy?
Well, think about this. When they had the I forget which patches it was, but over the summer we started to get all of these things where we could farm the champion bags, and all of a sudden, like, gold and loot and material started flowing in. It was like, wow, I'm getting richer than I ever was before. This is all new and stuff like that. But, the whole picture here is, bam, we're going to hit you with these ascended weapons and later on ascended armor, and the materials for this are like outrageous. And now, now you see, okay, so we were able to get all of this extra, stuff because we were going to need it for this. So maybe this is just the first step, and there's going to be another step that actually makes this make more sense. I don't know. Right now, it feels like.
What do you think that would be? Like, actually add more ways to earn more karma and
something like that.
I think they just forgot to nerf all the things you can buy with karma. I think that's the change that we're missing here. That's
hey, you could always spend 9 hours killing Tequatl for 310 karma.
And 10. Yeah, that changes everything.
Yeah, don't forget about that. That maybe that's the answer.
It is.
Matt Visual, follow him at Matt_Visual, and go over to his YouTube page as well and check out all of his Guild Wars 2 content there at the Matt Visual. Always a pleasure, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Richie Procopio. Follow him on Twitter at Richie Procopio and go over his YouTube channel, which is Bogater. Check out that 9-hour, shortened, edited version. It's not 9 hour. So go check that out over on Bogater. GameBreaker Nation stuff. It's coming. Got to keep you guys in the loop. If you guys want to keep up on the loop of what's happening with the GameBreaker Nation, that is our cross gaming guild that is coming soon to the GameBreaker thing. The GameBreaker Nation thing, I guess. I don't know. It's a thing. Make sure to go watch GBNcast. If you guys are wondering what the GameBreaker Nation is and where we're at. Couple weeks away, so go watch a GBNcast as well. More info there. We're doing that a weekly, kind of keep you guys up to date what's going on behind the scenes with GameBreaker and keep you up to date with the GameBreaker Nation. Follow me at Gary Gannon, follow GameBreaker TV, GameBreaker TV, and you don't have much time left, but if you're looking for a Hearthstone beta key, make sure to go over to Hearth Nation. Check that out.
Ooh, I want a Hearthstone.
Ooh. Have a great week. We'll see you next week for more GuildCast.